Last video that you guys watched kind of just introduced you to the truck, kind of let you know what was going on. Today we're going to be doing a radiator replacement. Currently right now when I drive the truck, she's fine in traffic. She's fine when you're doing like 55, but then you start pushing the truck trying to do like 65, 70, and then the temperatures start to rise, especially if the temperature is like 80 degrees or above. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the new Spectra radiator that I got from Rock Auto. We're going to swap out the old one for the new one, and we're going to take you guys along for the ride. So here's a little bit more background for you guys. This is the 2.9 liter V6. It's fuel injected, which is cool, but she's got about 270,000 miles on her now, so she's seen some time. And today we're going to be replacing this. I just drove the truck a bunch, so I'm just waiting for it to cool down. But once it cools down, then we will get to tearing it apart. To take the radiator out, it's just going to be the lower radiator hose. There's a clamp on it. It'll be this bolt right here, upper radiator hose, and then this bolt right here, and that's all you'll need to do. Then the radiator will come straight up and out. So stay tuned and we will get to working on this. Alright guys, so the radiator's cooled down, so I just pulled out the little drain thing, and as you can see there's like a ton of gunk on it, and if you look down there, it's not really draining into the bucket right now. It should be like pouring out like really fast. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that means this radiator is super clogged, and as you can see, like, the coolant looks super good. I mean, it's your typical nice dirty brown rust color coolant, you know, good for coolant heat transfer and all that other good stuff. So looks like we're gonna have to take some radiator hoses off and make a mess. So we went from trying to make no mess to now it's going to be a disaster. I'm going to try to reach it. Oh God. Yahtzee. Oh yeah. Dude, that's steamy. I'm doing the upper radiator clamp right now. And we'll slide this thing off and splash some more coolant everywhere else. My one dry glove left. This one's a little crispier. Giving up a little fight. Ooh, yum. Look at that. Look down in there. Nice and coated. Yeah, that's good. I knew I should have bought a new hose.
You really think a new hose is going to make a difference?
Probably not. It's just going to be this freaking clogged radiator. That's going to make the difference. Alright guys, so we got the hoses undone, and I'm going to take out the two bolts, and we're going to pull this beast out and we are going to probably do a little cut apart to see how clogged it was, and then I'll show you guys that. And then we'll plop in the new one after we flush the system as best we can, and go from there. You know what I realized is, like, 9 times out of 10, the ratchet's always in the unlock, like in the undo state, because whenever you put your tools away, it's usually after, well,
Yeah.
other way around.
I know.
Other way around.
And I agree. Yeah, because you wouldn't take something off and put your ratchet away.
Most of the time. And now, guys, we're taking off the fan shroud, which has to come off before we can pull this thing out of there. The fan shroud is just 2 8mm bolts, and then there's 2 clips at the bottom. So down there you can see 1 clip, 2 clips. These are the 8mm bolts, 1, 2, and then we just have these 2, which I believe are 10mm bolts right there and right there, and then we will be ready to rock. Bam.
Don't put the overflow hose.
I do like the front of this truck has just so much space to just collect parts and tools. It's like a workbench. Then to do the overflow, and we are ready to lift this thing out. Pretty straightforward. Those 2 little posts at the bottom of the radiator slide into 2 bushings on the frame rail, so pretty straightforward. Oh God, poor choice.
Tilt it
Poor
up.
choice.
Just, yeah, there you go.
Let me bring camera over here. As you can see, guys, the coolant's looking real chocolatey. That's when you know you're making about 8,000 horsepower, when your coolant starts to turn real chocolatey. As you can see down in the drain tube, it looks real chunky, and that's just because this truck just leaks horsepower, and it tends to accumulate in the radiator. So when you start to accumulate horsepower in your radiator, you really know you're doing something right. So I assume that this is what 270,000 miles looks like without a coolant flush ever in its life. Nice and clumpy. Yeah, yummy. So now we're gonna take the hose. We're gonna try and run some more water through the system, see if we can't flush anything else out. We'll unhook the heater core lines, flush those out as best we can, and then fill up the new radiator with some water. I think we'll try and run the system for a little bit just to circulate water in there more. We'll dump that out, maybe fill it up one more time, run it, and then dump it, and then we should be good to add coolant and send it on its way. Check out, yeah, that looks so good. Your coolant's supposed to be nice and clear and potentially green or orange, depending on what you have, not dirt brown. So yeah. So we're excited to tear this thing apart for you guys and see what the inside looks like. Off the outlet side of the heater core tube, and we're running water through it, and it's coming out the lower radiator hose, which is kind of like what we're doing to like preliminary flush the system. So don't know how much stuff it's actually spraying out, but water's looking a little clear now. Hose still looks in good shape. Slide that sucker back on.
So yeah, that should still work.
Alright, so right now we're trying to figure out, one, I still need to flush out the heater core, so we're going to take the inside off and flush that. Oh, you know what? Either way, we'll figure it out. Alright guys, so the only things that you reuse off the old radiator, at least when you get this one from Rock Auto, it's like the Spectra, it was like $60 for this truck, are the two top radiator shrouds, like J-nuts. So these slide onto the top of the radiator. They provide new hardware for the bottom of the shroud to go into, and then they provide new bushings. So I'm gonna put these on and we're gonna get ready to rock.
Scroll in this way, so
It's in the slot. These go over the slot in the radiator. And then these are going to go in the slot in the bottom.
I think someone just going to sit in there. Right?
Alright guys, so the easiest way to get these in there is to spread this part apart before you slide them over this rail, and then squeeze it back together with the pliers. So let's get to the install. Slide her down like so. Line up the posts with the little rubber mounts. On those, then take your 10mm bolts. Probably should have put these in before. do that for both sides. These are the bushings that came in the kit. I'm just making it easier on myself, so I'm taking out the little inner sleeve out of the bushing. That makes the bushing flex a lot more, so that you can pinch it and slide it into the slot. And then I know I just used a sharp object on a soft rubber object, but because this isn't like a sealing surface, it's really just like a bushing for a lightweight object. I don't have an issue with doing it. Now we just need the 10 mil bolts. Grab a wrench. Hand start them to start, because they're probably going to be a little bit misaligned. And then once you have that going, grab the ratchet and hammer them home. So since this isn't a clamp load critical joint, we're going to give it a good a good and tight, or one ugga-dugga, and then she's in there, she ain't going anywhere. Now we're going to pick up the fan shroud, slide it into the 2 clips at the bottom, and then line it up with your J-nuts on the top. Then take your 8 mils, line them up, hand start them, mil socket, put it on the wrench, and hammer it home. Nice and tight. We'll put on the overflow hose. Tighten that clamp down. Careful with this because you are clamping it onto plastic, so that you don't over tighten it and potentially crush it. We'll slip on the upper radiator tube. Same sort of deal. Be careful with it because you're clamping down on plastic. I need to get myself a set of nut drivers because nut drivers make this a whole lot faster. I'm sure all the commenters are like, why don't you just use a ratchet that's sitting right there? It's a great idea. Then grab the lower radiator hose, slide that guy on there. All right, we're all set. Double check, make sure you got all your hoses tight. And then for this first preliminary run, we're just gonna fill it up with just water. Definitely make sure you put antifreeze in it, especially live in Michigan where, you know, things get below freezing quite often. And I just realized, like, in order to bleed all the air out of the system, I'm gonna have to have a big reservoir, or at least put this up, you know. Say she's full. Alright guys, ran the truck up to temperature and now we're just draining it again. As you can see, the water's like a lot clearer now. So I'm gonna let her drain out, and then once she's done, then we'll fill her back up. Well, that water's looking pretty clean. I'll probably just go run to the auto parts store, grab some antifreeze and do the 50-50 mix and fill her back up with that and run her. So I got heat back, which is a good thing, and she seems to be running pretty cool now, so that's a plus. Now it'll just be driving around, see if I notice any difference when we're like trying to do freeway speeds. So I'll keep you guys updated and let you guys know how it's going. But there it is, radiators installed, all the hoses hooked back up. So that's how you do an install of a radiator on a 1988 Ford Ranger. And we're going to now cut apart the old one, show you guys what's inside. Alright guys, so we just got back from the drive and she's running a whole lot cooler than she used to. I don't know if you can see, but running down at the A and the M is way cooler. Before she would run all the way up to the N, around the O. So, mission success. Alright guys, so we told you that we'd take apart the old radiator and show you what's inside. So to give you a perspective, that's not supposed to be inside your radiator. That's just rust and dirt and junk, and that would explain why the drain tube was draining so slowly. But look at that. There's a chunk that fell off, and basically the whole lower half of the radiator was basically useless. So you can see even in some of the upper ones, it's still like pretty clogged. So yeah, we're gonna go with she wasn't doing anything for us. So that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know if you liked it, comment below, hit the subscribe button, and next will probably be a video of us tearing down the good old 5-liter over there. So stay tuned for that.